Hi guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Maybe give me a thumbs up. Waiting to see if anybody's out there. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, there's a 1 up there. 2. Cool. So if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up right now. All right, I'm gonna assume you guys can hear me. My name is Leslie. I'm from Earth Trucks Rockville. Oh, there goes a thumbs up. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do a little alternate nostril breathing. Thanks guys, thanks for the thumbs up, perfect. I'm glad you guys can hear me. So we're gonna get it started with a little alternate nostril breathing, and then we're gonna be moving through a little all levels Vinyasa Flow focused on Asteya, which means non-stealing or non-grasping. And you'll kind of get a feel for how that is with movement as we go through. I'll help guide you through that. And then we're going to finish up with a little leaves on a stream meditation using a mudra. So a couple of things you might like or need as we move through this practice today. One is water, because water is important. So make sure you have your water handy. If you're still nursing your coffee like me, you can have that next to you too. Lastly, we're definitely going to use a strap today. I don't have a strap, so I'm either using my belt or a towel. You can use either of those in place of a strap unless you have one. Feel free. We are going to do a little balancing half moon with our hand on the ground. So if you know you like a block for that, you can have a block handy. If you don't have a block, I highly recommend either a thick book, or you can rubber band some books together and have a nice prop. So feeling free for that. We're going to get started in a comfortable seat. So you can either sit on your block or your towel. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion, so it's really up to you. But I'll give you just a few minutes to get that set up, getting your props ready to go. And as we do that, if you can just give me a thumbs up if you're from our Rockville gym. No, is anyone from Rockville? That's funny. Oh, I got 1. And then I also actually teach at Columbia on Tuesday morning, so maybe if anybody's from Columbia, give me a thumbs up now. Cool. And then from any other gyms? All right, sweet. Anybody joining for the first time, experiencing Earth Trucks online for the first time ever? Cool. Excellent, guys. All right, so when you're ready to get started, we're just gonna find our nice comfortable seat. So again, I'm sitting with my hips slightly elevated higher than my knees my hips slightly higher than my knees, just so that whenever I breathe, my pelvic diaphragm can move along with my breath. So if your knees end up sitting higher than your hips, you're gonna have problems with your pelvic diaphragm moving in the way it's supposed to when you're breathing. So if that's the case, you definitely want to sit on something like your book or your towel, block, or your meditation cushion. So once you find that, we're just going to find the tops of the sits bones. So you might rock your hips back and then rock them forward, and then find that center place where your spine just starts to stack on top. We're going to lengthen through the crown of the head. And then as you're ready, the hands can rest on your knees or in your lap. And then from there, we're going to, instead of closing the eyes this morning, just finding a soft gaze over the tip of the nose, straight forward ahead. And as you start to find that straight gaze forward over the tip of the nose, not crossing the eyes, it'll be just beyond that point. Allow yourself to think about a single pointed focus. Maybe it's an object just beyond the tip of the nose that you're finding, but not letting your gaze being stolen away by anything else in the peripheral vision. So already starting to bring in that Asteya, that sense of non-grasping, non-stealing, and what does it feel like to just be able to focus on one point for a moment? And as you find that one point of focus, begin to notice and sense the prop beneath your hips or the mat beneath your hips, feeling your sense of grounding. Notice your breath moving in and out. Allowing yourself to fully arrive into this moment. And then just start to allow your breath to deepen, starting to pull it all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. And on your exhales, just letting it go, allowing a sense of ease to guide the exhale. We're going to start that alternate nostril breathing. Know that about every 90 minutes, one of your nostrils is more dominant than the other, and it switches about every 90 minutes. So as you start to do this, you might notice that one of your nostrils feels a little more clogged than the other. That is normal. It is supposed to be that way. We're going to start to let it balance out by breathing out of one and then the other. So in order to do this, you're just going to find your shaka. So you can put out your pinky and your thumb. And then also just let your ring finger release up. You can keep these two fingers tucked in if that feels comfortable. And we're going to start to take the ring finger to the left nostril, the thumb to the right. Don't put any pressure on it yet. Just let it be as it is. As you settle the hand, if it feels more comfortable, you can take your index finger and middle finger and rest it on your forehead if you prefer, or you can keep them tucked. From here, we're just going to keep that nice tall spine. We're going to take a deep breath in to get started, and then exhale, let it go. And then as you're ready, gentle pressure towards the tip of the nose, pressing the right nostril in, breathing in through the left nostril, plugging up the left nostril, exhaling out of the right. Inhaling right nostril. Closing right, exhaling left. Inhaling left nostril. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Keep moving there at your own pace. Knowing that you might be moving a little faster or slower than me. And if it's really uncomfortable to have your fingers on your nose, you can always just drop the hands and think about breathing out of the right and then the left. We'll just find about 2 more rounds. Finishing up whatever round you're on, finishing on an exhale. Once you're done with that, we'll just start to find our tall spine again. So if you lost it, maybe checking back in. And then from there, we're just going to slide the palms to the fronts of the knees, so hands are resting towards the tops. And then on your next inhale, we're just going to bring the belly forward, crown of head back. Think seated cat. But on your exhale, you're going to start to sway your spine over to the left, crown of head to the right. Let your neck release out too. Inhaling, belly goes back, crown of head forward, starting to barrel roll the spine and neck. So spine over to the right, head over to the left, and just keep moving in those nice circles. And think about as big as you can make these circles. So drawing maybe the edge of that barrel with your spine, letting the neck release out as well. Feeling free to be as big as feels comfortable for you. Not worrying about any thoughts about that, as much as just taking up space. You might notice it feels good to maybe play with the breath as you find these circles. So you might change up where you're inhaling and exhaling. As long as you're moving with the breath, you're starting to find your yoga. We'll just start to change directions as you're ready. So taking the spine over to the right, crown of head to left first, and then finding that circle in the opposite direction of what you're just moving, whichever opposite direction that is for you, if you're like me and right-left challenged. Start to notice the sensation of maybe the rib cages opening up, feeling those first movements of the spine. Maybe noticing any places that feel stuck. Just taking note, not assigning judgment to that, as just noticing. So last time through, starting to find your tall spine one more time. And this time on the inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead. Really reach through your fingertips as the palms meet. And then on your exhale, we're taking a twist to the right. So hand will come behind the spine. You can rest it on your sacrum at the base of the spine. Left hand comes behind the right knee. Inhale lengthens you through crown of head. Exhale might twist you just a little bit deeper. Maybe you notice the limitation in the breath here, so see if you can start to move your breath into the openings, maybe noticing a breath into the rib cages. And then on your next inhale, we'll just come back through to center, reaching the arms back up overhead through the fingertips, exhaling, coming over to the other side. Left hand behind the spine, maybe on the base of the sacrum, and then right hand behind the thigh. Inhale lengthens you. Exhale might just twist a little bit deeper. You might think about pulling the belly button up and in with every exhale. And again, feeling free to play with where you're sending the breath. So that might be towards rib cages, it might be towards belly, it might be towards back body, but noticing where you can send the breath. One more deep breath in here. And then on your next inhale, one more time, sweep the arms up overhead as you come to neutral, palms meeting, gaze up at the thumbs, and then exhale, release your hands through heart center. And then from here, we're gonna start to come off of the prop you were on. You can place it off to the side. And then I'm gonna move my camera so you guys can see me better, but we're gonna start to come to lay down on the mat. So I'll be on a back mat. I'm gonna switch the camera a little bit as well, so you'll notice the change. Just to let you guys know. Hopefully it flips. Nope, I can't flip. Sorry guys. This is what we're rolling with. I'm gonna put you back on the floor. All right. Sorry guys. All right, so from here, we're gonna need that strap or towel or blanket, whatever you're using. And what we're gonna do from here is just have it handy, extend the arms, tuck the chin, C-curve the spine, and you're rolling down to lay on your back one vertebra at a time. So as you come down, we're just gonna keep the knees bent. You can readjust yourself if you need. And then we're gonna take I'm gonna use my towel, and we're gonna take that towel around the ball of the foot. So we're gonna keep the left foot planted, and as you start to extend your right foot up to the sky, we're gonna take the towel around the ball of the foot, right at the top. So just around the toes and the ball of the foot. The knee is gonna be maybe straight, maybe you have it bent, it doesn't matter. We're not really looking for a hamstring stretch here. So we're gonna grip that the towel nice and strong. And then from there, on your exhale, you're just gonna bend your knee, think half happy baby. Knee comes around the ribcage towards the armpit if it makes it there. And then on your next inhale, fire up your quad and really press your foot up to the sky. Good. Arm is strong, leg is strong. Really fire up the front of the thigh. And then exhale, knee comes back around the ribcage towards the armpit. Inhale, presses your foot up to the sky. Feel those muscles firing up. Exhale, knee around ribcage. Inhale, press up, and then this time press the ball of the foot into your towel, point your toes, and then exhale, flex your foot back. Inhale, point the toes towards the sky. Exhale, flex. One more time, inhale, point, and then on your exhale, we'll flex the toes back, and then from here, we're gonna start to take the left ankle to cross underneath the right. Maybe there's a bend in the knees, that's totally okay. We're gonna grip the towel with both hands, And then on your next exhale, you're gonna curl the spine up, press the feet into the towel to help yourself rock up. As you find the sits bones, you're gonna start to find your boat pose. So we're gonna release the left foot, flex both feet, start to lift your chest to the sky, and then from there, we'll separate the towel, slide both feet in, and we're gonna hold our boat pose here. So hands are gripping your towel one at a time. Press your chest to the sky, press your feet into your towel, and then feel the lower belly. Pull belly button up and in towards your shoulder blades. Good, hold here, breathe. And then on your next exhale, we're just gonna slowly notice your shoulders too. Maybe notice if you're tending to hug them up, let them settle down. On your next exhale, we're gonna slowly start to roll down. So finding the curve in the spine, how much can you control as you slowly start to come back onto your back? From there, we're gonna release the towel from the feet, keep them up to the sky, flex the feet nice and strong. Even flex from mound of big toe to mound of pinky toe. And then on your next exhale, hands can rest by your side or slide underneath your hips if you wanna make sure that lower back stays plugged into the ground. And on your next exhale, start to very slowly, with your breath, lower your legs to hover 6 inches off the mat. Good. Inhale's gonna lift them back up. And then on your next exhale, we're just gonna lower the right leg, nice and slow and controlled. Hovering just 6 inches off the ground. Inhale's gonna lift back up. Exhale's gonna lower left, reach through the mound of the foot. Exhale's gonna lift it back up. Beautiful. And then from here, we'll plant the right foot back down on the mat. And then we're gonna take our strap around our towel around our left foot. So finding again the mound of the foot, noticing the toes tucked into that as well. Mound of foot is strong into there. And again, we're looking to fire up the legs. So finding your quad strength, pressing the foot into your strap, gripping your towel or your strap with your left hand. And on your next exhale, half happy baby, knee comes around the rib cage towards the armpit. Inhale, fires up the quad as you press the leg to the sky. Exhale, knee around the rib cage towards the armpit. Inhale, press it back up. One more time, exhale, knee comes around the rib cage towards the armpit. Inhale, presses, feeling those muscles fire up. And then on your next inhale, again, we'll point the toes to the sky. Exhale, flex the foot back towards your face. Inhale, toes to sky. Exhale, toes flex back towards the hip crease. One more time, inhale, press and point. Exhale, flex. And then from there, one more time, we'll find our rock up. So when you're ready, crossing the right ankle behind the left, both hands to your towel. As you're ready, find your arms strong, press your foot into your strap, let your spine start to curl up. And then as you find your sits bones, starting to lift your chest to the sky, separating the feet, opening the towel, sliding both feet in, and one more time, we'll find our boat pose with our towel or strap. And then as you're ready, lift your chest to the sky, pull the shoulders back using the arms and allowing the elbows to start to curl in towards center line. Think those chaturanga arms, so it's almost like you're hugging your elbows in just as you would when you lower halfway down. Hold here, breathe, press the feet into the strap. Feel the lower belly button pulling up and in towards shoulder blades. We'll take one feet from the towel, place it down on your feet down on the mat, and then as you're ready, we'll cross at the ankles, roll over the legs, come into your tabletop position. Good. I'm going to change directions and face you guys for this. So as you're ready, we're just going to start to turn the pinkies in this way. So we're looking for a nice wrist stretch here. You can choose to stay as you are, find your neutral spine, hug belly button in. Maybe you're hanging out here. Maybe you're starting to draw some torso circles with your spine. Good. Take those circles in the opposite direction if you're taking them. Good. We'll start to find stillness, and then as you're ready, we're just going to take the hands in the opposite direction. So we're going to start to turn the thumbs in. And same thing here. So you can choose to stay with your neutral spine hanging out here. You can choose to draw those torso circles.
We'll start to find stillness, taking hands back to neutral, middle fingers forward. Again, find your neutral spine. Stay just as you are. I'm turning one more time so you guys can see me. And then on your next inhale, we'll find our bird dog. So right leg reaches back straight out of the hip socket. And you might notice, you might kind of play with the hips here. See if you can find that place where your right hip is in line with your left. And then as you're ready, left arm reaches forward, reaching from fingertips to heel. Nice long body. Hold here, breathe. We'll be here for a few breaths, just working a little resilience, a little endurance. And as you notice, maybe noticing your thoughts rolling in and out, and maybe notice if they're getting stolen away by thinking about something else. Can you allow yourself to be in your presence in this moment? On your next inhale, maybe you stay here. Maybe you take the hand around towards the tops of the foot as you bend the knee. And then on your next inhale, take your gaze forward as you kick your toes up to the sky for tiger pose. Hold here, breathe. Keep the lower belly engaged. Squeeze into the pinky edge of the hand. Find the chest opening up. See if you can notice the shoulder pressing away from the ear. We'll find one more deep breath in. And then on your next inhale, leg and arm reach long one more time. Exhale, releases your hand and shin down to your mat. Beautiful. On your next inhale, find your cow pose. Belly lowers towards the mat, crown of head to sky. Broaden your collarbones through your shoulder blades. And then on your exhale, arch your spine to the sky. Press hands away, crown of head towards mat. Find your cat. Inhale takes you back to your neutral spine. Hug the ribcage in, lengthen through crown of head. And then we'll find a few more wrist stretches. So on this next one, we're going to take the backs of the hands to the mat, flipping onto the palms. And then if you can, on your next inhale, completely up to you, you can just stay here and enjoy. Or you can start to curl the hands into a fist and find a little wrist strengthening. So exhaling back to your flat hands, inhaling into your fists. Exhale finds the flattening. Inhale finds your fist. And you can keep moving there. You can always sit and enjoy one or the other. Completely up to you. So we're looking for a little stretching and a little strengthening here. Just working those wrists. Even though we can't be in the climbing gym, there's no reason that we shouldn't have strong wrists and fingers still, right? Good. Last time. The next time you're flattened out, just go ahead and flatten your palms back out. We're going to find one more forearm and wrist strengthener. So on your next inhale, we're just going to find all 10 knuckles plugging firmly into the mat. And then from there, we're lifting up the heel of the hand. Maybe your thumb stays grounded, maybe yours lifts up like mine. And then inhale, lowers it down. Exhale, lifts the opposite. Inhale, lowers. Exhale, lifts. Inhale, lowers. Keep moving with your breath. After a few rounds, if it feels good to lift both at the same time and that's available to you, feel free to do that. And again, just notice your breath again. Come back to your present moment if your thoughts are drifting away. Last time through. This time releasing the palms. And we'll find our bird dog on the opposite side this time. So as you're ready, finding your tabletop position again. Neutral spine, hug the ribcage in, find your strength. Lengthen through the crown of the head, find those cervical muscles and the neck firing up. And then as you're ready, inhale reaches the left leg back, straight out of the hip socket. And again, you can kind of play with where you are with the hip, maybe noticing if we're opening in the right place. And then on your next inhale, right arm reaches forward, reaching from fingertips to heel. Holding here, breathing. Again, finding that sense of endurance. What does it feel like to hold here? Is there a point where you're screaming to get out? And can you let yourself try not to travel to the future? What is it like to just sit with a little discomfort, knowing that this is safe movement, you're safe in your body? Maybe you stay here, maybe your next inhale bends your back knee, hand reaches around for top of foot or ankle for tiger pose, gaze lifts forward as you kick your toes to the sky. Still engaging the lower belly even though it's a back bend, so still finding some engagement there. Squeeze into the pinky edge of the hand, let the chest open up. We'll take one more deep breath in. And then on your next inhale, leg and arm reach long. And then exhale, releases palm and foot to mat. From there, we're tucking the toes, lift the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. So we're looking for a pyramid shape with the body. And we're finding a long spine. So if that means your knees are bent, that's what we want. We're not worried about having straight legs. We're worried about a nice long spine. So from here, you can keep the knees bent. Hands are about shoulder width distance apart or wider. Feet about hips width distance apart or wider. And then from there, maybe you just kind of pedal out your feet, walk out your dog, let your head relax. Keep hanging out here. I'm going to move a little bit just to get my sweatshirt off, but feel free to keep pedaling out those feet. Maybe you're walking out your hands. As you're ready, we'll start to find our stillness, and then on your next inhale, we're shifting forward into high plank. Shoulders stack over wrists. Neck is nice and long. I joke in my classes all the time about the world record. It's currently at 8 hours and 15 minutes. So if you're at home, maybe you have time now to work on that world record, you know? But we'll hold here. We're not going to go for that world record this morning. Keep pressing the mat away with your palms. Squeeze your hands towards each other. Think about maybe rotating the pinky edge blades of the hands towards each other. So it's just a little isometric motion. We'll find one more deep breath in. And then on your next exhale, gently lower your knees to the mat. Shift your shoulders about 3 inches in front of your fingertips. Hug your elbows into center line. And then Ashtanga Pranam, we're lowering chest and chin. On your next inhale, hips lower down to mat, chest and head lift for low cobra. Hands walk back to have elbows over wrists. Neck is long, straight out of the spine, lift the hands up. Find the bottom edge of the shoulder blade plugging into the back. And then from there, release the hands back down, elbows over wrists. Press your hands back towards your hips. Feel your mid-back muscles firing up. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Feel the kneecaps lift up. We'll find one more deep breath in. And then on your next exhale, lower your head back down to your mat. Walk your hands just outside of the mat. Tense your fingers or cupcake your fingers. Elbow points up to the sky. And then on your next inhale, lift chest and then head. Funky cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting chest and then head. Exhale, lowering. One more time. Inhale, lift chest and then head. Hold here, pause for a moment. Inhale, lengthens you through crown of head. Exhale, takes your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale back through to center, and then your exhale takes your gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale finds you back at center. Exhale lowers you back down, walking your hands back in next to your ribcage, elbows stacking over wrists, spread fingers nice and wide, press tops of feet into floor. This time on your inhale, plug the bottom edge of your shoulder blades back first. Feel the front opening of the shoulders. And then press into the hands. Maybe you come into low cobra. Maybe you press into your palms for high cobra. Maybe you also press into the tops of the feet for upward facing dog. Neck is straight out of the spine. So that means if your gaze is coming slightly up, it might still be straight forward. Your next exhale tucks your toes, lifts your hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Breathing here. Deep breath in. And then exhale, side out. Let it go. On your next inhale, we're looking forward in between the hands, lengthen the spine, bend the knees. Exhale, lock, step, or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Hands come to shins, press them away. Good. Maybe there's a bend in the knees. We're reaching tailbone back, sternum forward. Find your long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale one more time, halfway lift and lengthen. And then this time on your exhale, we're folding forward, walking the feet about hips width distance apart. You might drop 2 fists to find that measurement. And then from there, we're just going to have the knees bent enough to rest belly on thighs. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side for Ragdoll pose. Maybe you shake head yes or no.
Maybe hands stay on the mat because that feels good. Maybe you have arms wrapped behind the shins. On your next exhale, we'll find stillness, releasing hands down to mat. Inhale one more time, halfway lift and lengthen your torso. Press the shins away. Find your tall spine. Think about a bowl of fat on your back. You would not drop your soup if you had it there. One more deep breath in. And then on your next exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, we're rising all the way up to stand. Palms are meeting as you reach through the fingertips. Gaze comes up at the thumbs. You might not be able to see my hands, that's okay. And then exhale, release your hands through heart center and down by your side. Good. Hold here and breathe. So we're just gonna find our nice tall stance. Allow yourself to lengthen through the crown of the head. Feel your feet on your mat. They can be hips width distance apart if that feels more stable. And you might kind of rock your hips forward, rock your hips back, maybe side to side. And where does it feel the most stable to have your hips over your feet? Feel mound of big toe, mound of pinky toe, heels pressing firmly into the ground. You might lift your toes up. And then as you're ready on an exhale, maybe you gently lower one toe back down to the mat at a time. And maybe you just notice if that's not available to you. That's totally okay. If your hands are still on your hips, you might drop them down by your side, palms face forward, let your chest open up. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then if you haven't already found your Ujjayi breath, maybe you start finding it here, starting to restrict the air to the back of the throat, finding your whisper muscles. So nobody's around unless you're practicing next to somebody. Maybe you whisper a little bit to feel those muscles fire up. So Leslie, or whatever you need to whisper and feel those muscles. And then from there, your breath starts to move from those muscles. So feeling that same restriction as the air starts to run across the back of the throat, you might start to hear a little whisper sound in the breath. Maybe it sounds a little like the ocean or Darth Vader. Good. From there, we'll close the eyes or just soften the gaze over the tip of the nose. And if you're softening the gaze, think about that one pointed focus, not allowing your attention to go to any place else but that one place. As you find that one place to stare at, or the eyes are closed, just starting to invite in that sense of Asteya, that sense of non-stealing, knowing that you're safe in your body in this moment on your mat. We're finding safe movement. Your body is a safe place to be in this very moment at this very time. Not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past, but in this very moment right now, that is where you are. If there's a different intention that resonates with you besides I am safe in my body in this moment on my mat, then feel free to invite that intention in instead. We'll find one more deep breath in here. And then on your next inhale, start to sweep your arms up overhead. Reach through your fingertips. Arms are long, palms meet, gaze up at the thumbs. Good. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, halfway lift and lengthen your torso, hands to shins or mat. And then on your exhale, plant your palms, keep your nice flat spine. Step if you're jumping back, landing with your bent elbows, finding your high plank. Elbows hug into center line as you lower halfway down. Maybe you're taking that knees, chest, chin variation we took earlier. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhaling to your downward facing dog. That's our vinyasa. No, it's optional always. Know that you can always take a water break or find your child's pose or Shavasana at any time. On your next inhale, we'll take a deep breath in. And then exhale, softly sigh out of the mouth, let it go. Your next inhale, look forward, lengthen, bend the knees. Exhale, walk, step, or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift and lengthen your torso. Exhale, folding forward. On your next inhale, rising all the way up to stand, palms meeting, gaze to thumbs. Exhale, releasing hands through heart center and down by your side. One more time, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen, hands to shins or mats. And then exhale, plant the hands. One more round of sun salutation A. Stepping or jumping back to your high plank,
Again, option to lower knees, chest, chin. Option to skip the flow, lowering halfway down on your exhale. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling to your downward facing dog.
Finding your breath again, maybe noticing that Ujjayi breath if you're still using it. If you're not using Ujjayi, that's okay too. Just think about lengthening out your breath. How long can you make your inhales and exhales? On your next inhale, we'll look forward in between the hands, lengthen the spine, bend the knees. Exhale, walk, step, or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, folding forward. On your next inhale, we're rising into chair pose, sitting back, weight into the heels, arms lift up. Hold here, breathe. I'm turning forward just so you guys can see me. Good. Have a look down, make sure you can see your toes. Feet, knees, and thighs are parallel. Think about squeezing your knees towards each other and at the same time pressing your thighs away. And we want those glutes to fire up. So you might give them a little tap and tell them, hey guys, it's the morning and we're awake, so you need to start working. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift and lengthen your torso. And then on your next exhale, we'll plant the hands, find your high plank. Good, lowering halfway down. Same option to move through that vinyasa. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. Find your deep breath in here. Notice we want the feet to stay neutral, but we want the inner thighs rotating towards the wall behind you. Let your heels sink low, lift your hips high. Same thing here. Long spine. Maybe the knees are bent to make that happen. Armpits rotate towards your chest. So you might back up a little bit, find that rotation, and then let your chest come through. So again, we're looking for a tall spine. We're not trying to dump through the arms, right? We'll find our deep breath in here. And then on your next inhale, right leg reaches a high for three-legged dog. Good, bend the knees, stack the hip, open up if you'd like. Maybe you start to draw some circles with your knee, big or small, if that feels okay for your hip. We'll take those circles in the opposite direction if you're taking them. And then from there on your next exhale, knee comes to belly, chest, or nose. Hug your shin in nice and tight, shoulders stack over wrists. Inhale, lift and lengthen the leg back up. Exhale, knee comes towards the right elbow or upper arm. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, knee towards left elbow. Inhale to reach it high. And then exhale, knee to belly, chest, or nose. And then we'll step the foot in between the hands. Find your warrior two. Back foot becomes parallel to the back of the mat. Inhale, cartwheels the arms open. Good. From here, we're just going to find our front knee stacking over the ankle or behind it. Pressing firmly into the pinky edge blade of the back foot. Arms are long, straight out of the shoulder sockets. Good. We don't want to lose the integrity of this front knee. We want to make sure it's always pressing towards the pinky toe. So even if your hips are starting to open a little bit more towards the front, that's okay. We want to make sure this knee stays safe. From here, we'll take the gaze over the middle finger of the front hand. And on your next inhale, we're going to lean the torso forward. We're going to hang out here. Flip your palm. And from there, just notice what you notice and allow yourself to be with the future. So whether that's focusing on goals of the future or noticing if there's any other emotions that come up when you think about the future, but working with something you feel okay working with in this moment today. Not going too heavy if that's not where you are. And can you just be present with those future feelings? What does that feel like? How does it feel in your body? And then on your next inhale, we'll flip that palm back over, pass back through neutral, and then flip your back hand, reaching back. And same thing here, but now we're focused on the past. So can you just be with something from the past? Maybe there's a story in your head. Maybe there's a journey you've taken. But what is it like to just be with those past feelings, those past scenarios, those past emotions? Now again, only working with things you're ready to work with in this moment. Your next inhale flips your palm back over, back into neutral, into center. And this time, having visited the future, having visited the past, what is it like to just be in the present?
So knowing that we have our goals that we're moving towards and our journey that's gotten us here where we are now, what is it in this moment that we like to sit in? How does that feel in the body? Knowing that we're safe here on our mat, we'll just take a couple of more breaths in this warrior two. And then as you're ready, we're finding our Ardha Chandrasana half moon balancing on the hand. So if you know you like a block for that pose, you might bring it in now, or your books. And then on your next inhale, I like to keep mine in my hand and dip it down. You can also place it where you're gonna land. From here, we're gonna start to flex the back foot off the mat. Option for your hand to be on your hip. Slowly tipping the hand down to your block or mat. Your block or hand are gonna be in line with your grounded foot. Your shoulder is stacking directly over your wrist. Your back foot is flexed like you're standing on the wall behind you. Find something to stare at that's not moving. Allow that to help you balance. And then maybe you lift your hand up to the sky. Maybe you hang out here. Maybe you have a Shavasana bind in your practice, bending the ankle, reaching around for the top of the foot, kicking the foot back into the hand. Breathe here. Notice what you notice. Feel the balance here. And as you find that single pointed focus, not letting the moment be stolen away to anything else. That's when we lose our balance, when we start to focus on what is not happening in the now. Inhale, lengthens the leg and arm back up if you have that bind. Exhale, floats you back to your warrior two. From there, we'll straighten out both legs, turn all 10 toes forward towards the long edge of your mat. From there, slightly pitch and toe the feet, so heels slightly out, toes slightly in. Exhale, release hands to hips. Inhale, lengthens you through crown of head. Exhale, folds you forward. Hands come down to mat. Know that you have the option of bringing the floor closer to you with your books or block. And then from here, we're just going to inhale, halfway lift and lengthen the torso. Hands can walk forward, spine is flat, shoulders over wrists. And then exhale, fold, walk the hands in between the feet. And then from there, we're looking to have the hands about shoulder width distance apart. Elbows are starting to stack over wrists maybe, if you're getting that low. Elbows will squeeze together. Palms press down and forward into the floor. Press firmly into the pinky edge blades of the feet. And then keep lifting the hips high as you let the head fall low. Relax the neck. You should be able to shake your head yes or no. And then feel the fronts of the quads fire up. So kneecaps are lifting up into your thighs. Find a deep breath in here. And then on your next inhale, we'll lengthen the torso. Find your flat spine. And then from there, we're moving into side lunge or skandasana, bending into the left knee. Right leg stays straight. Maybe you're staying nice and high. This might be your place today to stay. If you're staying here, feel free. If you'd like, you can sit all the way down, just paying attention to your knee, paying attention to where your hips are feeling, the back of this leg. What does your body need? So if it feels okay to sit into it and flex your toes to the sky, feel free. From here, we're going to take the hands to heart center and hang out here. So even if your hips are high, you might be here. You might be taking the hand around the knee, so you can do that with your hips high. Or with your hands low, we're going to take the left arm inside of the leg, plant the palm on the ground, inhale, right arm up to sky. Maybe you're staying there. Maybe you flip your palm towards the wall behind you with the right hand, place it behind the back. Maybe you're hanging out here, clasping onto the edge of your pants or your thigh. Maybe the left hand meets for a full bind. Breathe here. Notice that extended foot. Make sure the toes are still flexing to the sky. Notice where your mind is and where your energy is. Where do you feel energy in the body? Where do you feel energetic energy? Where do you feel calm energy? And are you noticing if your thoughts are still being stolen away by something other than the moment? On your next inhale, we'll extend the arms nice and long one more time. Exhale, plants the hands down on the mat. From here, you're going to turn towards the left edge of your mat. So we're kind of facing the opposite direction of where you started this vinyasa. Find your crescent lunge legs. So all 10 toes are forward. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Good. Hug the outer left glute into center line, and on your next inhale, find your tall spine, lengthen your torso. Maybe you have a block or books underneath the right hand. And on your next inhale, left arm reaches up for your twist. Hold here, breathe. Stay just as you are. I'm checking the time. Keep breathing here. On your next exhale, we'll lower the hand back down to the mat. If you're using your block, place it off to the side. From there, vinyasa, stepping back to your high plank. If you're taking it, lowering halfway down, elbows squeezing ribcage. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Chest presses to thighs. When you're ready, your inhale lifts your left leg for three-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hip, open it up. Same option here for circles with the knee big or small. As you're ready, taking those circles in the opposite direction. And then we'll find stillness, and on your next exhale, knee comes to belly, chest or nose. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, knee towards the left elbow or upper arm. Inhale to reach it high. Exhale, knee towards right elbow. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And then exhale, knee to belly, chest or nose. Warrior two on this side. Back foot parallel back of mat. Front heel about in line with back arch. And then inhale, cartwheel the arms open. Reach long through the fingertips. One more time, checking in with this front knee, pressing knee towards pinky toe. Breathe. So again, making sure the integrity of the knee is there. And then from there, we squeeze the glutes. Maybe the hips open up more. Maybe they just are where they are today. On your next inhale, we'll go again, reaching for the future, flipping the palm, hold it in your palm. What is it that you want to work with from the future? Maybe there's a scenario or a story that's been running in your head. Can you just be with it and accept what it is? Inhale, flips that palm back over. Exhale, reaches you back for the past. Flip that palm over, hold the past in your hand. What would you like to honor from your past? Be with that, accept it. Allow it to be as it is. Not feeling a need to pull yourself out of it, but letting it be what it is today. Inhale, flips that palm back over, back to center. Find your now, your neutral. Be with the present. Where's your breath? How does the mat feel beneath your feet? And then as you're ready, half moon on this side. Same option to grab your block and be ready to go with that guy. And then as you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll start to flex the back foot off the mat. Option for a hand on the hip. Block or palm landing in line with the foot, shoulders stacking over wrist. Glutes squeeze together. Back foot is flexing strong like you're standing on the wall behind you. Gaze is finding something still that's not moving. Maybe you're finding your Shavasana bind, bending the knee, reaching around for the top of the foot or the ankle, pressing foot back up into hand. Holding here, breathing. Inhale, reaches the leg and arm nice and long. Exhale, floats you back to your warrior two with ease. Good. Inhale, straightens out your front knee. This time we'll find our goddess pose. So turning all 10 toes out to the upper corners of the mat. And then on your exhale, sitting back into your goddess. Hips working underneath the spine, knees pressing over ankles. Exhale releases your hands to your inner thighs. Let your torso lean forward. Press your shoulders away from your ears. And then on your next exhale, right shoulder dips down for a twist. Inhale brings you through to center. Exhale takes you to twist to the other side. One more time. Inhale through to center, and then as you're ready, straightening out the legs, turning all 10 toes, probably more forward. And then from there, we'll find our Skandasana, bending into the right knee. So as you're ready, same option. Maybe you're staying nice and tall, straightening out the left leg, bending into the right knee. Maybe you're here, hands at heart center. Maybe you're sitting all the way down if that feels okay for the knee, the hips, the inner thighs, the extended legs and knee. Flex your left toes to the sky. Hands are at heart center. Spine is working to be nice and long. Same option to stay just as you are. Maybe you're starting to take the right hand around the front of the shin, planting the palm on the ground, inhaling left arm up to sky. Maybe that palm flips towards the wall behind you, turning to come behind the back. Maybe you're clasping the edge of your pants or your thigh. Maybe the right hand comes around to meet for your full bind. Notice your thoughts. Notice your energy. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, release your palms back down to the mat. Inhale is going to turn you to the front of your mat again, over to the right side, the short edge of the right side of your mat. Crescent lunge legs. All 10 toes are forward. Squeeze your thigh into center line. Hug your outer right glute into center line. And then as you're ready, maybe a block's underneath your left hand. We'll inhale to lengthen the torso. Exhale to twist, lifting the right arm up to the sky. Hold there, keep breathing. Your next exhale releases your hand down to the mat. And then from there, we're going to step the left foot forward to meet the right. And we're coming into ball squat. So you're coming onto the balls of the feet, as you can see. Hands are going to stay on the mat. From here, we're just going to curl the spine, tuck your forehead into your knees. Hug it all in nice and tight. Nice tight ball here, holding, breathing. And then on your next exhale, we're just going to end up sitting on your bum, so you can kind of start to release the heels down, release your bum down to the ground. And we're going to start to set up for that meditation. So from here, we're going to sit up nice and tall. You have the option to be flat on the ground, but again, we want to make sure you have room for your pelvic floor to move. So feel free, we're going to elevate the hips slightly higher than the knees here. So I'm going to take my meditation cushion under my hips. You are more than welcome to take a block, maybe your towel, anything you'd like to prop up the hips. And then from here, we're going to find Bhu Mudra. So Bhu Mudra is very simple. We're going to take our, I'm going to move over just a little bit so you guys can see my hands. So we're taking, our peace finger, so you can take the pinky and the ring finger in, so just like you would give somebody peace. And then we're going to plant those fingertips down on the mat. So mine's behind my legs, but you might have theirs there. But those two fingers are going to connect. And what we're looking for is a mountain shape with the body. So the arms are the sides of the mountain, crown of head is the very top, the peak. And we're just making that nice mountain shape. So feeling that sense of grounding. Notice the breath and just start to feel it calm down after all that movement. Feel your tall spine. You might need to rock back and forth and then find that tall spine that helps your mountain be as tall as possible. Feel the base of your mountain in your legs, your glutes. Notice that sense of grounding. And as you feel that sense of grounding, start to press your fingertips into the floor. Feel the shoulders press away from the neck. And then allow your eyes to close or soften the gaze over the tip of your nose, starting to find that one pointed focus. And then from there, start to envision yourself sitting next to a stream, maybe in your favorite place. Maybe you have a favorite stream. And just begin to watch the water trickling down, hearing it flow over the rocks. Maybe you notice the rustle of the wind over leaves. Feel the air on your skin.
Notice what it's like to breathe fresh air into the nose. And as you feel the air on your skin, start to notice the leaves falling into the water from the trees. And as you notice thoughts arising, just take those thoughts and place them on one of the leaves passing by. Doesn't matter if you feel like they're good thoughts, positive thoughts, or negative thoughts. Whatever those thoughts are, just place them on a leaf as they go by. You might notice that you get caught up in a thought. That's okay, it happens. But as soon as you notice that you've drifted and you notice that you're sitting at your stream, just come back to that sound of the trickling water and begin to place your thoughts back on leaves. If you don't have any thoughts coming in, just start to focus on the trickling of the stream, noticing the water moving. If there's a recurring thought that keeps coming up, just keep placing it back on a leaf. Let it float on by. You might think, why am I doing this? This is silly. And if you do think that, just, again, place it on a leaf. Let it float down the stream. As you're ready, just gently start to bring your focus back into the now, into the present, feeling your sits bones on your prop or on your mats. And then as you're ready, we're going to slide the prop that you have underneath you out from underneath, and we're going to start to find Shavasana. So feeling free to set up how you like. Bringing the bottoms of the feet to the mat, extending the arms, tucking the chin, C-curving the spine, rolling down to lie on your back. And as you're making it there, just finding your place to rest comfortably. Once you've found your place to be, just allow your eyes to close or soften the gaze over the tip of the nose. Know that you can have props underneath your knees if you have any lower back discomfort here. Keep lying on your back in Shavasana. Just begin to let go of the practice, let go of your breath. And just begin to let your body settle in. Let it be heavy on the mat. Notice any tension still left in the body. Allow the shoulders to be heavy. Release any tension left in the jaw, the brow line, and forehead.
And just as you are sitting by the stream, releasing your thoughts into it, can you allow yourself to observe thoughts as they move in, feeling free to use that stream if you need. Feel free to lie in this Shavasana as long as you need. I'll leave you with some parting words. The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple. And yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. Again, feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Feel free to check out the other live streams throughout the rest of the week on our social pages. The light and love within me bows to and honors the light and love within each and every one of you. Namaste.